Right. In this lecture, we will download one sample application for our load testing, which we will be using in most of our coming lectures. Okay. So it's not legal to put a load on an application which we are not having any rights on it. So let's download HP load runner, because in HP we have an application, inbuilt application in this load runner package called WebTours. So in that application you can start putting load on it and you can practice as much you can. Fine. So however, I'll teach on more websites as well, but in most of the critical functionalities of Jmeter, putting high load or running rigorously, when we are putting more than a limited load, then I'll be taking the application which we get from the load runner. Okay, so that will be very comfortable for us, as we are not going to put and hack any other website which is on the net. Okay, so but still we have some dummy websites on the net which I'll be talking in my lectures, and we can also use those, and this HP load runner is one of those which we will be using rigorously. And that the other dummy websites we can directly hit the URL and proceed, but for this you need to download this software, and we have WebTours application as a package in this software, right? So let's see how can we get that load runner into our machine and how to open that WebTours application, which will be useful for our coming lessons, right? So just give HP load runner download, and the first link which says hp.com load runner, and you can fill out your information and get continue, and finally you will get the link for download. Fine. So just download from this website, or I think first 4 websites, anyone you can click, and ultimately you will be landing on that load runner download page. But as it's up to you what you does, but with the first link as well you can fill out your basic data and get continued, and it slice I think 1 GB. It takes 1 GB for you. Maybe up to depend upon your internet speed, it might take half an hour to 1 hour for downloading. So once it is downloaded, it will be look like, let me open my folders. Yeah, C drive, and see, if you are using Windows machine, it will be stored in the temp folder, but it will ask you where it needs to get downloaded. You can give an information there, but most of it comes into C drive and temp folder, whereas you can see HP load runner 12.02 community edition. Okay, open this folder, you will have something like DVD. Open that too, and then you get a multiple folders in this. Go with L runner, that means load runner folder, and here select MSI. Yeah, and here go for HP folder, load runner again, and ultimately these are the components which we can accessible from load runner, and here is your WebTours application. Okay, open that WebTours and start server. First you need to start the application server in order to access that application. Without starting the server, you cannot hit that URL to open application in your locally. Okay, that application what I am trying to use, it's in our local. This is not hosted on the web. That's the reason we have to start the server in our local machine, so that we can then access that application locally from our browsers. Okay, so double click on start server. It will be just throwing some command prompt information, and it will be launched. Application will not launch. It just says once the command prompt is open, we can come to conclusion that server is started. So now what URL you need to use to open that WebTours application? Go to Firefox browser, and 172 second. Yeah, so this is basically your IP address. Okay, IP address colon 1080/WebTours. This is the URL for you to navigate to the web tools application of HP load runner. Fine. So I hope you know where can you get this IP address of your machine. If not, open your command prompt. Let me open. Yeah. uh, IP config you can give, you will get the related results. Yeah, here you can see IPv4 address of Ethernet adapter virtual box. Okay, copy this IPv4 address and 192.168.56.1 colon 1080 slash webtours. Then hit the URL and you will be launched to webtours application. But to make it work, make sure that you started server from this path. Okay, if you are not sure, just rewind the video and see how you need to navigate to reach this page. Once you start server, then only you will be able to access this application. So in our coming modules, we will try to actually sign up using the data driving. In data driving module, I'll talk about how to send the data from external file to this inputs, and we'll talk about regular expressions, assertions. So most of the Jmeter users will be using with this application. Not only this, there are two other websites as well, but they are just directly we can access it in the web. Those are not in local. So we will be taking 3-4 dummy websites to actually test those on the load with the help of Jmeter. Okay, so yeah, that's it about this application installation, and make sure you get ready before we proceed with our next lecture. Okay, thank you.